As soon as Mr. Pecker got out of the room, I made a split decision to literally jump up and smack the crap out of this dude's head, okay? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. This is your first time seeing me. Hello, my name is Diamond Janae here on YouTube. I do hair reviews, product reviews, makeup, all that fun stuff, doing a little bit of vlogs. I'm trying to get into it, y'all, and we'll see what happens with that. But long story short, as you guys can see by the title, today your girl is going to be doing a get ready with me story time. Yo, I could tell a story about the first and only time I think that your girl got suspended. All right, so basically I'm going to be bringing you guys back to when I was in 7th grade. So basically I'm in 7th grade. This is me and basically every other 7th grader's first time going to this particular middle school, right? So everybody was basically new, and yeah, your girl, I'm not gonna lie, your girl was very nervous, very scared, because mind you, like, for some of you guys that may or may not know, I used to get bullied OD in 6th grade. So once I went to 7th grade, I'm like, you know what? This is a new school, new opportunities, blah, blah, blah. Like, maybe I can finally start making friends and this, that, and the third, da, 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 right? Now, granted, back then, your girl had a completely, and I mean completely, different personality than what I have now. Because, oh, I swear on everything, there's so many fights I probably would have been in if I would have had the mouth I had back then. Because back then, I was super shy. I was super timid. I didn't know how to stand up for myself at all. Like, none of that, right? Like, I was super intimidated by everybody. Like, basically, like, if you wanted to pick on me in my face, I dead would just sit there and take it. Like, I dead wouldn't try to defend myself. I dead wouldn't try to start an argument or nothing like that. Like, all, like, the, like, popular kids used to intimidate the crap out of me. And I don't know, I just never really was the type to, like, stand up for myself and stuff like that, right? Like, I was a super introvert. I didn't like being the center of attention whatsoever. I just didn't really, I mean, I cared for school because, like, in my household, my parents had taught me and my siblings, like, yo, like, you have to get A's and B's. Like, you gotta go to school, you gotta be successful, you gotta go to college, have a career, that whole thing. So I was more focused on that aspect of it, but like the social aspect of it, oh, I hated it. I hated school so motherfucking much when it came to the social aspect, because I was just so awkward. Like, I just it was just so uncomfortable for me to make friends. So basically, with saying all that, I was very to myself, very introverted. I didn't bother nobody. I wasn't starting drama. I wasn't trying to mess with nobody's man, none of that crap, okay? So with all that being said, so this particular story takes place, and it actually happened when I was in Reading Edge. Now, I don't know if everybody had a Reading Edge class or it was just like a PA type of thing, but basically
Reading Edge was a complete waste of time.
Like, to this day, I don't understand why the heck we even needed to take that class in the first place. It was basically a class, for some of you guys that might not know, it's basically like another like reading/writing class. Because you know how you have like reading, social studies, science, and math as like your 4 main subjects. Reading Edge was just an extra class that we had to take in the morning, like right after homeroom before we took our regular classes, right? And to this day, like looking back now as an adult, again, absolutely no point whatsoever in us taking this. So long story short, I ended up being in the class with kind of bad kids, but kind of not bad kids. Like, to me, I personally don't feel like there's anybody in this world that's stupid. I just feel like there's people in this world that are dumb. And what I mean by dumb, I mean as in, like, you're smart, but you don't want to put the work in, and you rather be a class clown than actually do good in school. So to me, you're dumb. I was kind of in the class, so like some of the kids in there were bad and didn't really care about school, and then some of the kids in there were not, I wouldn't say brainiacs, so they wouldn't have been in my class, but they were like people that were like, I guess, like serious about school and wanted to make sure they got good grades and whatnot, right? There's only really a few handful of people that actually matter in this particular story. And basically the guy that started picking on me, and that's why I ended up getting suspended, he was in my reading edge class. I swear, just thinking about this story again is getting me hype as a mug, yo. Like, I'm literally like, my foot is like tapping underneath my freaking desk right now. Cause like, just thinking back, like, girl, I wish I had the personality that I have now back then. Cause so much stuff, oh my goodness, so much stuff would have been freaking different. Like,
y'all.
But lo and behold, somebody always got to sit up here and try to bully the quiet girl. And it's just like, why? Like, you honestly think that you're going to look cool bullying somebody? Like, really? Like, is that the type of time that you on right now? But that's apparently the type of time that this nigga was on. But he was messing with the wrong motherfucking one. I think for the sake of the story, I'm going to call him Kevin. Wait. Is that his real name? Is that his real name? You know what? Even if it is his real name, he can kick rocks. I honestly don't care. And I know some of y'all might be like,
dang, Diamond, like, you really gonna be that petty? Like, this drama happened like 10 plus years ago.
Yes. I'm gonna be that petty. So basically, like, the first day into my reading edge class, I was actually low-key excited because my crush at the time, let's just name him Johnny. My crush at the time, he was actually in my 6th grade class, and I had like the biggest crush on him, bro. It was just so freaking sad. And like, back then, like, again, like, I was super awkward in like social situations. So like, literally, like, you know how like you be staring at somebody and then you catch them staring at you back and then you quick look away. I would dead just keep staring at him. Like I don't know why I would what the heck was wrong with 13-year-old me? Like, I was type slow, I'm not gonna lie. Like, but yeah, so I was super excited because Johnny was in my class and I still had a pretty big crush on him, I will say. Like, I don't mind admitting that now because this was like how many years ago. Now, unfortunately for me, my crush Johnny ended up actually being, I wouldn't say him and Kevin were like best friends, but they were like class friends. Like, you know how you have like your friends outside of school versus your friends in school. Like, quick side note, like, literally I had like maybe one school friend and she was literally just my school friend because I couldn't be friends with nobody else. Like, I didn't know how to make friends with people at all. Like, the way I would make friends is like someone coming up to me and talking to me. Like, that's literally how I became friends with people. And the only person that decided to come up to me and talk to me was this chick. I guess for the purpose of this video, let's call her Sabrina, because that's definitely like way far off from like what her actual name is. But Sabrina, she was basically the only person that I would talk to. Like, yo, my whole eyeshadow just looks 10 times more smoky as soon as I pop my lashes on. Follow my Instagram business page, Diamond Debonair. It should be coming out very soon. I don't have an exact date yet, but yeah, check that out for your girl. Okay, self promo. All right, there ain't nothing wrong with that. Anyways, continue with my little story or whatever. Okay, so basically she was one of those girls, honest to goodness, and no shade towards her, but like at first I liked her, but then like there's most of the time she got on my nerves just because me and her personalities were like very different. And she would low-key throw shade at me, like before throwing shade was even like a word. But that's the best way I can describe it. Like, this girl used to always kind of like talk over me and kind of like try to like boss me around and stuff like that. And of course, me being, you know, an introvert and like a pushover, I really didn't try to like fight back or try to like challenge her, I guess you would say. I don't know. But basically, she was the only, like, I guess, like, school friend that I had. And come to find out, she actually had a little crush on Johnny and Kevin. Now, I don't know about y'all, but future me, because Kima, I would definitely consider being one of my best friends. If I found out that, if I told Kima that some dude was picking on me and all this other stuff and how I don't like him and how I'm uncomfortable around him, if I found out that she thought this dude was cute and all this other stuff, I would have punched her and this nigga both in their faces. That would have been the new me, basically. But again, me being the personality and having the personality that I did before back then, I didn't do anything, I didn't say anything, but I feel like that was like one of like the first things that kind of made me not really like her in Reading Edge. Like, let me tell you all a quick story about Kevin's personality. Now, Kevin, number one, he stayed back. He was supposed to be in 8th grade, but he stayed back a year, so he was basically in 7th grade with the rest of us, right? But he was definitely one of those kids that loved to be the class clown, loved to be the center of attention, and also just really wanted acceptance from, like, I guess like the cooler crowd or whatever, which is pretty pathetic if you ask me, considering the fact that you're with a bunch of 7th graders. Like, you're supposed to be in 8th grade right now and you have to stay back. Like, that's embarrassing. Like, I honestly could have, there's so much stuff I could have said to this boy that probably would have made him cry. But of course, again, I didn't have the savage personality that I have now. Like, I wish somebody would try to bully me. So yeah, like I said before, unfortunately, the guy had a major crush on Johnny, and Kevin actually became like friends. I don't know if they were like friends or they were like just like school / like class friends type of situation. Johnny will always like be like in the clique with like Kevin. I knew they had like a small clique going on, but I honestly do not remember the other boys that were a part of like their little like clique or whatever in that class. He wouldn't bully me when it came to Johnny all the time, but he'll say like little slick remarks that of course I wouldn't reply to because I didn't want to like escalate the situation. But he would say little slick remarks here and there about the fact that I like this dude, and it dead used to get on my nerves. And I'm just like, really, like, you don't have nothing else to talk about? And like basically it wasn't even just me, but again, like, he just loved to be the center of attention and loved to be the class clown. So he used to basically do stuff to interrupt class all the time. He always loved to get approval from a bunch of 7th graders, even though he was supposed to be in 8th grade, but he decided to be stupid and not do his work and think it's more cool to be funny and liked by people than actually getting ahead in life. But that's just me. So he would always like, and thank God, like for the most part, he would always sit on like the other side of the classroom. So the only time he would really say stuff to me was kind of like once in a blue moon. But I just did not like him. I did not like him at all. The days that he wanted to come to class, I would then say like a sigh of relief because I just did not like this dude at all. I did not care for him. He was a bully because he didn't only pick on me here and there, but he basically picked on everybody that wasn't a part of like the cool clique or whatever. And here goes Johnny not really saying nothing. But yeah, so Kevin was basically like the class clown. I felt like half the class genuinely liked him and thought he was funny, and then the other half of the class kind of just put up with him because they didn't really feel like getting basically like his wrath, like his bullying, because like literally this nigga used to be harsh with it. I'm just like, you dead can't even do your work. Like, you dead gotta be making fun of people all the time. And so on this very fateful day, I honestly feel like I was maybe like, I felt like Aunt Flo was visiting because I was like extra moody. Like, I specifically remember that day in school, I didn't even feel like being in school whatsoever. Like, I did not feel like being at school. So basically on this fateful day, like I said before, we had homeroom, and right after homeroom and like the morning announcements were done, we would have
dreaded reading edge.
So anyways, so for some reason I honestly don't understand how this got set up. I mean, I know God had a plan. So mind you, usually the way Reading Edge was set up, we used to be able to have basically like sit wherever we want to sit. So basically, of course, Kevin would always want to sit with Johnny and his group of friends or whatever, like in the back and whatnot. But for some odd reason, this particular day, I think we had assigned seats. So on this fateful, eventful day of my life that stuck with me until young adulthood, to this day, I honestly don't understand why this even happened, but I'm actually glad this happened. Like, looking back, like, it just proved that mama ain't no punk, you know what I mean? So basically, for whatever weird reason, this nigga was sitting right behind me.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
No other rows. It's literally just rows of 2 straight across, and then on the other side straight across, right? Don't know why the heck it was set up like this, but unfortunately that was basically the setup of the classroom, right? But anyways, so basically for whatever reason, Mr. Becker had this nigga sitting behind me, and in my mind, I had already knew when he did the assigned seats. Like, in my mind, I'm like, oh God, no. Like, literally I'm thinking like, oh God, like, please no. Like, why does this dude have to be sitting directly behind me? Because I just knew something in my gut, like something in my gut told me that some BS was about to happen today, for real, right? So with the school IDs, some people, like, you automatically got a lanyard with their ID every single year, because you would have to take a new ID picture every single like school year, right? Me being a goody two shoes, I always just wore it around my neck because I didn't know fashion. I didn't really care for it at the time. So with that being said, I have my lanyard on, right? And do some of you guys know how like certain lanyards like have like the clasp, but like you did have to like put in the clasp and then it makes a necklace, or you can like take the clasp off and then have your lanyard being off, right? So that's basically like, so like the little like plastic piece that you like push, like stick it together, and then that's how your lanyard stays up. That's what I had, right? I had that on the back of my neck, right? And I'm pretty sure either I have my hair one of two ways, but I either have my hair like this in my braids, or I probably have my hair like this. So it was either like this or all to the front like this, basically with like the piece to like my lanyard being exposed, right? So I'm sitting there, and mind you, it's dumb quiet. It was either super quiet and Mr. Pecker was on his desk, or it was dumb quiet and he was actually teaching something. I do not remember what it was, but I remember I couldn't be super loud and nobody else was talking. I do remember that, right? So mind you, like I said before, Kevin was sitting directly behind me, and mind y'all know how it is sitting behind somebody. Like you're literally like right up against, like you can literally reach your hand and you can be touching their neck. Like it's not that hard at all. So out of all the things that this dude could be doing besides messing with me, he decides to keep flicking the plastic part of my lanyard. Like literally like flicking it. Like he would flick it with his finger, he would flick it with the pencil, and like every time he would like hit the back of like the plastic part of my lanyard, it would hurt my neck, because like it would kind of like pinch it in a way. It's kind of hard to explain, but like I would feel like a little pinch whenever he would slap it. And I'm turning my head like this, and I'm telling him, I was like, yo, stop it, like why are you messing with it? I told him, I was like, yo, stop it, cut it out. And then he kept laughing and he kept doing it, and literally the whole class, bro, like the whole, like mind you, Rainy Edge for whatever dumb reason was like a whole hour. Almost that whole hour, bro, like I would say we were into maybe like 40 minutes, because I think I was counting down the amount of time left before we got to leave, because like I'm like, yo, like he's really bothering me, he's really pissing me off. Like he keeps hitting his finger and like his pencil, pen, whatever, up against the plastic part of my lanyard. Like I'm over here getting seriously ticked off, because I'm just like, dude, like what the heck are you doing? Like, are you dumb? But literally, again, my anger was just building up the whole freaking class. Like your girl was literally just getting more and more and more and more just pissed off. So basically this was definitely like a split decision type of thing, but guess what little old 13-year-old Diamond, my shy introverted behind, decided to do? I don't know what exactly was the reason why, but basically Mr. Pecker had to walk out of the classroom and talk to a teacher about something. Again, I don't know what the heck it was. Mr. Pecker was literally out of the room for, I would say, about maybe like a minute, 2 minutes, right? I kid you not. The moment he walked out of the classroom, hold on, let me show y'all. I need to give like an accurate like representation of exactly what I did, okay? All right, so here's my mannequin head, right? I'm looking a little ghetto right now, but I just need you guys to see exactly what the heck I did, right? So pretend this is Kevin, right? Now mind you, this is legit probably like the width of thickness that this nigga's head actually was, right? Have the mannequin head back here because this is more accurate, right? Because remember, like I said before, I'm sitting in the front, he's sitting behind me, right? As soon as Mr. Pecker got out of the room, I made a split decision to literally jump up and smack the crap out of this dude's head, okay? That's what your girl did. I literally got up out my seat and smacked the crap out of him just like that. Y'all don't understand just the happiness and relief that I felt when I did that. And of course, everybody jumped up. It was like, and everybody was mad hype or whatever. And like literally I smacked them and sat right back down. Like I didn't do nothing. Like, now granted, shout out to almost everybody in that class, because I kid you not, like I said, everybody was hooting and hollering and whatnot. because I just slapped the crap out of this nigga, right? Because again, he kept picking on me. Don't keep picking on me and expect for nothing to happen. Like, your girl was just over it, right? But basically, so Mr. Pecker comes back into the room, right? And again, him being the cool, chill, you know, teacher and whatnot, he's like, oh, what's going on? Like, what happened? Like, honestly, like, thinking like nothing really happened. And granted, we all know how school is. If you hit somebody, that's a major no-no and blah, blah, blah. But anyways, so literally as soon as he was asking, everybody fell silent. And I'm just sitting there like, hopefully nobody says nothing and the moment's just gonna pass and we're just gonna go along and finish the school day and da-da-da, right? Kevin's sitting there holding his head like this behind me, salty AF, which he should have been, because you ain't gonna sit up here and keep picking on little old me that ain't do nothing. Unfortunately, somebody ran their fat mouth. Now, I don't know, let's call her snitch, because that's exactly what she did on me. Like, she dead snitched on me. Like, literally everybody was super quiet. Everybody was not gonna snitch on your girl, right? So shout out to y'all, because again, I had no friends. None of these people was my friends, but nobody was snitching on me, right? She opened up her fat mouth and was like, Diamond hit Kevin. And I was sitting there like, this dumb, oh my god, like, I was so mad. I was sitting there like, oh my gosh. Now granted, even at this point, I honest to goodness did not think that I was gonna get to go to the principal's office, right? No, I was wrong. I went up to Mr. Becker's desk and Mr. Becker was like, Diamond, you know, just like tell me what happened. So I told him what happened. And for some of y'all that don't know, like, I'm an angry crier. Like, unfortunately, I'm the type of person that I cry when I'm angry. Like, if I'm arguing with you or I'm beefing with you and you start seeing me cry, please do not take that as a sign of weakness. Basically, me and Kevin both got escorted down to the principal's office, right? So then my mom was called, his mom was called, my mom got down there, and mind you, I didn't get in trouble. I did not get in trouble by my parents. Listen, my mom and dad always taught me, if someone's picking on me and someone keeps putting their hands on me, punch them or put your hands back on them. But unfortunately, the principal was like, well, you know, going over the situation, da-da-da. Diamond here is gonna get suspended for the rest of the school day, and then I think I had 2 or 3 days of in-school suspension, and then that was it. Listen, I'd rather have regular suspension than in-school suspension, because in-school suspension was low-key boring. It wasn't boring, but it was boring. Like, the people made it fun, but we were only able to talk so much before the teacher was like, hey, stop talking over there, type of situation, you know what I mean? But yeah, so basically, and the funny thing is too with that, like, and my mom saw Kevin walk out or whatever, he's looking all sad and salty because your girl slapped the crap out of him because he wants to keep messing with me, okay? So, and like, literally, like, he kind of like started crying a little bit, because that's literally how hard I hit him. Like, literally, I was not playing. I was so pissed off. I'm like, you ain't gonna keep messing with me. And my mom was quick with it. She was like, is that him? But basically, like, my mom jumped up, but she was like, hey. Like, she literally was like, you. She was like, like, literally like this. She was like, hey, mad loud, right? And I'm looking up at my mom. I'm just like, uh-oh. What is she about to do? She was like, don't you ever think about ever laying your hands on my daughter ever again. And I'm just sitting there like, what she said. And it was funny because like the office ladies are looking at my mom all wide-eyed like, and I'm just looking at them looking at her like, what's the problem? Like, y'all gonna honestly say, and mind you, it was a bunch of white ladies. No, not trying to be racist, but we all kind of know how different races react to certain situations. Don't sit up here and say I'm just saying, for some of y'all that know, y'all know. Basically, after that little altercation or whatever, I was sent home for the rest of the day. And y'all know that stereotype, like, when black moms, like, when one of their kids do something, they literally call up all their sisters, they call up all your auntie and uncles, they call up all their friends and whatnot, telling them what happened. Basically, the whole way home, oh yeah, Diamond got suspended from school for defending herself, and she smacked this boy because this boy kept messing with her, and da da da. Like, my mom was going off, bro. And I'm just like, all right, like, and I told her, I was like, am I grounded? And she was like, heck no, you're not grounded. I'm like, But the funny thing is too, like once I actually started going back to regular classes again, that nigga never said another word to me. He did not say another single word to me, I don't think, for the rest of the school year, bro. But literally, I kid you not, like whenever I would look over at him, he would have his head down. And it was funny because my friend Sabrina, like I briefly mentioned earlier, like my school friend or whatever, she was telling me like, yeah, like mad people were talking about how you slapped him and da-da-da-da. Like mad people like, dang, like I can't believe Diamond slapped Kevin and all this other stuff. Sad that it takes me having to slap the crap out of somebody for people to respect me. Like that's really sad. Like if you really think about it and analyze it, do I regret it? Heck no. If I could go back in time, I would have did a lot more for all that. Like if I was gonna get suspended anyways, I would have scratched up his face. I would have probably did so much more stuff. Like I just had so much anger towards this dude because he was just such a prick. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to your girl down below. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great day or evening or whatever time you happen to be watching this, and I hope you guys have a good one.